you're running your business and you get hit with a hard problem. How do you solve it, right? You're running out of capital, your lead person quits, you lose a bunch of customers. What do you do next? So this is what I like to call crisis management skills. I'm Achumboro Ataande, a four-time entrepreneur, angel investor, and adjunct professor. Let's jump into today's episode. Today, we're going to talk about how to enhance your crisis management skills. Now, let's start off with the first thing. When is the worst time to plan for a war? When you're in the middle of one. So just like war, when you're in the middle of problems, it's very hard to make great decisions. The first thing that you really have to develop is a proactive mindset, or increase the proactiveness of your mindset, right? So you should be anticipating risk at least quarterly. So quarterly is the longest time frame you should take between doing this exercise, but then you could also think about doing it monthly or even weekly, right? This is how you can anticipate, and you're looking at what's the most likely thing to happen. So you're thinking about, okay, what will be highly dangerous to the business if it happens? What is highly likely to happen? So those are two frames that you may want to balance. Next, plan for multiple scenarios. After you anticipate the risk, plan for, okay, what will you do if this percentage of risk happens? What will you do if this happens? Right? Anticipate scenarios. Do this. Constantly ask yourself, what if? And stay solution oriented. We're not trying to get you to anticipate risk so you start becoming woe is me. Oh, there's so much hurdles. We want you to look at this with a solution oriented mindset. Okay, how would I solve this problem? Who would I need to call? What resources do I need to have? Okay, what's my backup plan? Things like so. Be very solution driven in this. And the thing that once you really start doing this well, your team is going to look up to you, because now you're going to seem cool headed when all the shots are flying. Now, speaking of shots flying, how hard is it to communicate on a battlefield? You think you're hearing bombs go off, you're hearing bullets whiz by, you're hearing things explode. How hard do you think it is to communicate? So similar thing when it comes to in business, when there's a fire, right? Or when things are going down, like emotions are heightened, there's distracting noises, distracting scenes. So work on developing your communication skills so that when these things happen, you can communicate clearly, concisely, right? And also, this is a good time to work on your active listening to make sure other people are communicating clearly and concisely. You don't want to hear that somebody's telling you one thing and it's really not what's going on, right? Working on your communication skills, and not just the way you tell people what's going on or what steps they should take, but also the way you listen to people and make sure that they're communicating the message they mean to communicate, right? So they're giving you the accurate data you need, and also that they're hearing you the way you want them to hear you. Just like I said, you have to work on tailoring messages for the times or for the medium, right? So communication skill, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it, right? It's when you say it. So working on that timing, working on that tone, working on how you phrase things, right? Sometimes you may say something because you want an emotional reaction. Sometimes you want to say something where you're not triggering somebody's sensitivities. Next up, you worked on your proactivity, you worked on your communication skills. How do you need to develop your decision making, right? So developing your decision making, so it comes down to, okay, there's one decision to make. This is going to change the fate of our company. You know you're more likely to make a good decision than a bad, right? Or you know you're going to make a great decision rather than just a good one, right? So that's what you want to work on. And how do you do this? This is reading, right? So all these books that I read so I see different scenarios. I practice them and I try them out in my business. Okay, this worked, this didn't work, right? And then I can see, oh, I have frames of reference. Okay, I do X when Y happens, or I know I need to take these steps when I see this move. These are the next things that I'm going to follow. So that's what reading, studying, so going to conferences, staying on top of information, right? So that's how you strengthen your other things. Staying calm under pressure. So are you developing habits and routines that allow you to learn how to center yourself, how to stay calm? I pray. I'm very big in my relationship with God. That helps me stay calm in the middle of storms, right? What are you doing that helps you stay calm, right? So you can really be calm and cool under pressure. Prioritizing decisions. When this is happening, there may be 100 decisions people are asking for, 10 that are really important. So learning how to prioritize decisions is part of decision making, right? What decisions do you need to make? What else can you let go? Okay. One of the key things to making good decisions is you have to have good data, right? You're not going to have, or maybe you won't have 70% of the information, but can you get at least 40% good data, 30% good data, 60% good data, right? So being able to gather data quickly, being able to analyze data quickly, that's part of being able to make great decisions. Next, enhancing collaboration and leadership skills of others. For every reason, keep on going to my war example. When in the middle of war, what do people, the enemies usually look to take out the leader, right? So they're looking to take out the leader. They're looking to distract you. They're looking to incapacitate you. They're looking to whatever, right? Take you out the game. Are you developing a strong bench, right? Or is your second command, are they well able to make decisions in case something happens? Maybe you get very sick or something happens and you need to take care of your family, right? I hope that doesn't happen. But if that does, do you have a team that you've been building, you've been pouring into that can make decisions in your stead? And then that makes you an even more formidable opponent, right? Now, even if you're available, right, now you have somebody to bounce ideas off of, right? You can go to your team and say, hey, this is our problem. This is a potential solution. Let me hear why you think this is good. Why do you think this is bad? And if you really poured into them, do that, you can really get great advice. Proverbs 15:22 says, without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed. Right? So if you're developing your advisors, right, which should be both the part of your leadership and your mentors, your board of directors, your board of advisors, if you're developing that, now you have people to bounce ideas off and people who can give you ideas and say, hey, make this move, not that, right? And then you can truly go forward. Be flexible and adaptable, right? So you have to be flexible. Things you may have a plan and then, oh, you have to change, right? You need to go to plan B, you need to go to plan C, you need to go to plan D. Being flexible and adaptable is critical in enhancing your crisis management skills, right? Learn from mistakes. We all make mistakes. We continue to make mistakes. No matter how great we get at decisions, we make mistakes, right? So learning from them, going back and debriefing yourself, post-decision analysis. Okay, why did I make this decision? What was the outcome? Was this the best thing for the business? And then looking at it, okay, what were the flaws in the reasons? Because you can still come out with the best decision for the business, but you had a flawed process, right? So analyzing that and iterating it and making it better the way you look at things. Or you can come out with a bad decision, but you made the best of the information you had, right? So then if you know that's happening, especially if that's happening more times than not, can you build a system or a procedure around even if you make a bad decision, you are buffering that so it still has the best impact possible, right? And that's a whole, you are buffering that so you don't explode the business. So there's other things, but I'm going to wrap up with this. Invest in continuous learning. So watching this video, it's great. Watching, learning, and looking more to, okay, how do I deal with this scenario? How did this person deal with this scenario? You're not the first person to go through this type of problem, right? It may be a variation, it may be etc., but other people have gone through similar problems. So learning, how did they approach it? What worked, what didn't work? And you apply that. You have the same resources, you have the same bandwidth. Going through this, constantly educating yourself, upskilling is going to help you become phenomenal when it comes to making hard decisions, right? So thank you for watching another episode of Business and Life Advice with Ataande Advisors. I'm Achumboro Ataande. Please comment below. What's the number one thing you want to work on to enhance your ability to make great decisions during crisis? Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. And until next time, God bless.